Hello and welcome! It is Modern no ban list time. I guess it's no ban list Modern, is that what we decided? NBL Modern matches. We're about to play the second match of the season. We've gathered 16 of the best decks in the history of, I don't know, my email, I guess. We had a contest. 100 of you sent me deck lists. I went through, I picked out what looked to me to be the most ridiculous 16 decks that you can build with no bans in Modern. Take off the shackles, take off the handcuffs. What can you actually do? Now, we're going to play out the tournament. We're going to use the normal format for Gauntlet of Greatness. We're going to have 4 groups of 4. Each group is going to send 2 decks to the top 8. And, I did some randomizing and some seeding, followed by some randomizing as we put the groups together. So, we are in Group A. And we are going to be watching Stoneblade against Delver. Definitely 2 of the more iconic creatures. I guess one of them you can still play with in Modern. One of them, not so much. Here's the Stoneblade list. So 4 Stoneforge Mystics, also Mental Missteps, so a couple of banned cards going for it. Ponder, which, I don't know, I mean, it is banned, technically. Feels like almost a technicality. Snapcasters for value, you get some permission in here. Got a Jitte, a Sword, and a Batterskull that you can go get with Stoneforge Mystic, and of course, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Banned cards don't stop there. Treasure Cruises let you refill. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm more than 2. I don't know. I just want more banned cards in my NBL Modern lists. The opponent here, speaking of banned cards, Delver has got a fair number of them. The Treasure Cruises are great in this list, which is all just cantrips anyway. 4 Mental Missteps, cost 0. Ponders, Preordains, there's some Spell Pierces. You get to play Lightning Bolts. You get to play Skull Clamp, which is particularly good with tokens off of Young Pyromancer, so that engine can get going. There's Dark Confidant and Snapcaster in here as well. And, of course, the Delver Secrets. So, pretty solid beatdown deck. It's got the burn plan. It's, I think, the fastest of the beatdown decks. I mean, it's kind of ultimately playing a fair game in that it's going wide with creatures and, finishing off with burn spells, but plenty of unfair things going on for what is kind of a fair deck. Who's your pick, Shadow?
I pick Delver every time Delver is a choice to be picked. So
it has been doing all right in our tournaments past.
Yep.
All right. Well,
I really like turning cards sideways, and blue cards turn sideways really well, it turns out. So
I'm happy to play the blue and white cards. I do kind of think, your cards are so much cheaper than mine that I like your chances, but I think it's kind of close. I mean, it depends how the cards play out, right? If you don't come out and just establish a massive board presence right away, I think I'm totally capable of winning.
I don't think it's a blowout. I think it's close.
I think I get to sideboard Supreme Verdicts too, which I feel like helps a lot. Supreme Verdict seems like exactly the right wrath effect against you. There's none in the main deck. I mean, I think I don't know how many creature decks we're going to see in this tournament, so that's a reasonable way to set the main deck up, but I definitely like your chances in Game 1. I do have the match hosted, by the way, if you want to come fight me.
Sure.
Find out, though. I think I might be favored after sideboarding. All right. Good luck to you, sir. I will mute you. We can chat more after the match.
Sounds good. Ciao.
All right. Shadow's muted. Back over to gameplay. Ooh, we won the die roll. Let's do this. Well, I mean, we have a turn 2 Stoneforge Mystic. That's got to be good. Mental Misstep also has got to be good. Definitely a keeper. He got a Delver? He's got a Delver. Does he have a misstep to defend it with? No. Awesome. I think that means I don't even have to pay 2 life for a Path to Exile. Just get to go Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. And let's do this Stoneforge thing. I think Batterskull is just the get. I mean, Jeté could be good against him, but it kind of depends how the games play out, and it actually takes a little while to get Jeté down and equipped. Better taking advantage of that 1W ability with the Batterskull. I feel better about it anyway. Yep, that's the problem. Sometimes your Stoneforge dies, and you're out of mental missteps. Wow, is it possible that I was supposed to not misstep the Delver since I have a path? Seems kind of crazy. It's possible. I mean, obviously, if I was psychic and knew it was in his hand, then it might turn out that he had the answer anyway, but... I felt like misstep was going to be harder to use than path, and that might just be wrong. Oh, no, I think my play is right, because I don't want to give him a free land. I mean, I think he only has one basic in his deck, but he does have a basic land in his deck, so... I'd rather misstep turn 1 Delver than path it. I don't think that's all that close. I mean, if this was Swords of Plowshares, then I think we'd have a debate. But giving him that land for free on turn 1 is just... That drawback's too big for me to sequence it that way. Interesting. Do I just want to cycle Remand? Do I want a Mana Leak? Maybe all of the above. I mean, he missed a land drop, so... Not letting him ponder seems good. Wow, so I can remand it again. And then he's out of mana. Yeah, I like this. Need a creature. Whatever, I'm just going to tap out for Batterskull. Part of me was tempted to leak it that last turn, but better off paying for the sack land than that. Yep. Oh, funny. No islands. Oh, they can't get an island. It's a windswept heath, of course. Whatever planes is fine. That seems pretty good against him. I think he might have like a random Vapor Snag or something, but he can't bolt. I mean, bolt doesn't deal with it. He doesn't play path. He's on, yeah, he can double bolt it? Is that the plan? Bolt Gut Shot? Bolt Gut Shot. You got me. You're going to make me spend 8 mana. Yes, you can ponder, finally. But I mean, his Mana Leak's feeling like a pretty hard counter. I've got Path for whatever he comes up with. He goes top, 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 does not shuffle. Misty. Yeah, I'm just going to leave up 2 leaks. I mean, I could play the Jeté. I think I'd rather just pick up the Batterskull. I mean, be able to Mana Leak and pick up a Batterskull. Treasure Cruise. Graveyard's lighting up. Must be Treasure Cruise. He's got 7, so he can actually do it with... If he only pays 1 mana and delves 7, then it would take 2 Mana Leaks to stop it. That's annoying. Man, I wish Counterspell was in Modern. Feels like Counterspell is totally fair. I don't throw 2 mana leaks at this, right? I just mana leak whatever he's going to play off of it. I don't think it's worth 2 mana leaks and not picking up the Batterskull. Sigh. Guess I need a land now. Yeah, now I have a land I can defend with a mana leak. He's thinking? He sees my mana leak mana. What else is he gonna do though? He does have 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Remand, something like that. He could get me with one of those Spell Pierces. Let's see what happens. Tapped. No longer have to worry about Spell Pierce. He's just getting his fetch lands out of the way. I can live with that. Great. Yeah, I see the chat talking about Monastery Swiftspear. I was a little disappointed not to see a good Delver with Monastery Swiftspear deck. So it feels like you can just go burn heavy with Swiftspear, and that deck should be very good. But nobody sent me that list. Yeah, I mean, this one is Snapcasters and Dark Confidants, and I mean, I get Dark Confidant, right? Most of the cards are pretty cheap. But at the same time, I think the Swiftspear version that hits super hard is probably just better. Yeah, he's going to Snapcaster, and now I get him with a mana leak. But he may be able to mana leak back. But then whatever, all he's done is kill a germ token, and we can repeat the cycle. I mean, I'm going to mana leak this. Obviously, it's amazing if he doesn't have the ability to leak back. Leak back? Pierce? Wow. Had to pay and then pay. Yeah. Nope. Can't play for the Pierce. Snapcaster works. So he's going to be able to... But I mean, all this does is kill a germ token. This, again, is not the end of the world. In fact, if we top deck a land, we can just pick it up and replay it. We're at 7. Wow. Yeah, I'm just going to pick it up and replay it, right? I mean, there's attack with Colonnade lines, but then I'm spending all my mana to deal 4 damage when he's already shown that he has to throw so many cards at each Batterskull germ. Like, I don't know how he gets out of this lock. This feels like a lock. Like, he has to go super wide with Pyromancer, I guess. It's how he gets out of this, but then I'm gaining life, and I'm putting a Jite on it. I don't like his chances. Oh, by the way, I have a path. His Batterskull has been pretty good. Remember the Stoneforge from way back on turn 2? He got bolted right away. She got bolted right away, but her memory lives on. This is just preordained value. Nothing else in there. Oh, he can cruise. Yeah, that's pretty good. He can't go wide to beat this Batterskull, can he? There's no way. Snapback Treasure Cruise does not suck. Still, I'm just gonna Jeté, equip Jeté, attack, and have Jeté, right? And if he double blocks, then I path him? That's probably the line. He probably is gonna double block. Whatever, I path. I think this is, again, I think this is better than attacking with Colonnade. He's even got the island in play, so path is just free. Playing out the second match of the week. We'll be back next week with 2 matches in Group B. Yeah, I want the tempo of keeping my germ around. Ah. Hilarious. So he pays 2 life. I guess I leak this then, right? I mean, the tempo swing is gigantic. You have another misstep, then pay 2 life and go to 5. What a weird sequence. And now I'd rather have a card in my hand to bluff with than play a land. I'm pretty sure. Even with Batterskull out. I'm already to 8, so... Empire is not bad. So obviously I'm going to respond to the first thing I get to respond to and kill it with Jeté. Who's he bolting? The germ? Yeah. And he gets a token to Skull Clamp out of this. I mean, I still think I'm winning. This whole Skull Clamp Pyromancer thing does not feel good, though, not gonna lie. I still have my Jeté counter. Yes, you have a Skull Clamp. Down to 6. Down to 4. Now he's 1 Colonnade hit from dead. They just missed the Colonnade. Yeah, he wants to bolt. Now I can't Giant Growth to save it because 6/6 still dies, but Colonnade kills him. Yeah, he sees the Colonnade. Alright. On to sideboarding. I'm pretty sure that against the Young Pyromancer deck, I want these Supreme Verdicts. I don't know that I need any of these others. Like, I don't really want to be fighting Permission. It's just... I don't think that's how that match goes. I want to be just tapping out and doing stuff. So, what do I not want? 3 Jaces strikes me as optimistic. All these Snapcasters. I don't know, though. That game kind of did turn grindy. Just be careful not to take out too much of my late stuff. I want the 2 cruises. I don't know. 3, take out 1 Snap. Oh, the remands are terrible. That's what I want to take out. I just take out the remands? I mean, I'm just remanding 1 mana things, right? Yeah, I think the build might be slightly light on card advantage anyway, so I probably don't cut those. This leaves me with mana leaks. Maybe that's okay. Yeah, alright. I'll try it this way. I could put in Rest in Peace versus his cruises. That doesn't sound right. Turns off mine. I mean, his are better than mine, but I'm not going to spend a card. I don't think it's worth spending a card to do that. It's turn 2 Stoneforge and not much else, but I think that's good enough, especially with a path. Yeah, I can path his creature and Stoneforge out an artifact. See what happens. It's a pretty land-heavy draw. The deck is pretty land-heavy, though. If anybody knows when I'm supposed to bring in Elbrus, let me know. It looks crazy expensive to me. I don't know when I'm supposed to bring in Elbrus. Interesting. I can ponder or I can path. If I ponder, I'm gonna get to reshuffle. I mean, if I'm ponder, I'm gonna get to reshuffle next turn. Maybe that's better. I might take a Delver hit, but I'm either taking 1 or 3, but giving him a land is bad. Spells. I like spells. I only get 2 of these. So I want the click and the Jace, right? That's a pretty good ponder. I like it. The suggestion from Chad is you bring it in when you have an EDH match and forgot your EDH deck. It's funny. This has to just be Stoneforge. Is he sitting on Mana Leak? That would suck. He only plays like 2. Oh, Remand. It's still annoying. Okay. Somehow being on the play and playing a turn 1 Delver has given him the tempo advantage in this game. Oh, I've got the score wrong. I won the first game. This is game 2. Stoneblade is up 1-0. That is a Skull Clamp. I mean, next turn, I'm going to go Stoneforge Path and hope it works. I don't have much else. This match still feels pretty close. It's just the Delver's not going to beat me. But he gets a Young Pyro going. But I probably have to path the Delver, right? And then a Young Pyro can beat me. I think I have to path the Delver. That's a lot of damage. What else am I going to do? Try to block it with Click? Stoneforge Path just feels like a better turn than Click and cross my fingers. This doesn't trigger when I Yeah, it doesn't die to path, so. I do not think I can afford to trust in Click's ability. To block. Not going to let him untap and have permission up. Damn it. I was definitely afraid of that. I mean, whatever. It's still Stoneforge. It's better than Ponder. I'm taking so much damage that I'm going to get within Bolt Snap range. It's gotta be better. I need a life gain. Shit, take counters take so long. Might actually make sense to Jason bounce the Delver. Great. Now that I didn't get Jitte. Alright, I take 4 down to 10. Funny. I think this is Ponder and play Batterskull? I definitely think it's Ponder. Would love to find Path to Exile. Misstep Snapcaster. Snapcaster's pretty good. Misstep's pretty good. I guess I don't have to crack a fetch land here if I'm going to go Batterskull, which I think I am. Alright. I have a Snapcaster on top that I probably want to draw next turn. I have the ability to put a Batterskull into play and attack with it after falling to 6. So I'm dead to 2 bolts. You draw Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp number 2 doesn't scare me that much. Nice, I'm not dead to 2 bolts. Misstep 1 and be at 1. Stoneforge for Batterskull. I think I want to draw Snapcaster. And now what? Attack, attack? I mean, I can... Yeah. Attack, attack. What's he gut-shotting? Oh, he's gut-shotting his own Dark Confidant so I don't gain life. That's funny. So I can misstep it to gain the 4 life. But I also have this Vendilion Click that I kind of want to defend from Lightning Bolt so that I can block with it. Or do I just let it hit me? Crazy. I think so. Mental Misstep is essentially gain 4 life, and I'm in a super tight race that I can even swing. Oh, I can even replay the Misstep off Snapcaster if I need to. Funny. Alright, now I can Snapcaster for Misstep if I want to. But I'd probably rather Snapcaster for Plow. Though I should probably do that while he's tapped out. Plow, I mean Path, of course. 4, 5. Huh. And I think Snapcaster for Path is way better than Click. And I'm going to do that main phase where there's less permission that's relevant. I mean, Misstep and Pierce are good against me here for sure. But, man. Now I just have to hope he has no... I have to fade a Lightning Bolt. This would have been the same thing if I'd Snapcastered for the Misstep to try to gain the life. 4, 5, 6, 7. I just have to fade Lightning Bolt. You got a Lightning Bolt? Dead to a Lightning Bolt. Hell, I'm dead to a Gut Shot. I'm dead to a Snapcaster. He's got Snapcaster for Gut Shot. You have got to be kidding me. Snapcaster for Gut Shot? Seriously? It's actually kind of hilarious. It is quite hilarious. Oh, he does love to kill me with Gut Shot. That's awesome. I don't regret the way I played that. I mean, he had all the answers there at the end. And I don't think I had a sequence that could navigate all those answers. On to game 3. That was awesome. I'm sure Shadow is cackling to himself. Would have been fun audio. Yeah, I'm just going to run this back. When do I bring this in? 7 mana. So what, I Stoneforge it into play, equip it for 1, and transform it into a 13/13? Is that good? I don't know. It doesn't seem great. It seems fun. It seems like, I don't know. It seems like a mascot in the sideboard. Two Ponders, good mana, and a Supreme Verdict. I'm not going to mulligan. I am, however, going to hope for Stoneforge in this Ponder. I think it's worth paying 2 life to Ponder. Especially since if I do find a Stoneforge, I can Glacial Fortress untapped next turn. Ugh, those are bad. I just reshuffle those, right? Yeah, I don't want any of those. That was well done. Good job, deck. See, we pondered into Stoneforge, just the way we drew it up. Skill game, indeed. Yep, you have a Delver. list. Glacial Fortress into Stoneforge into the Batterskull, right? Yeah, I mean, if he kills my Stoneforge, I won't have anything to put Jete on anyway. So, the Batterskull. Does it flip? Or does Stoneforge get to block? It flips. Interesting. We take some damage here, which is annoying. We're set up for next turn is Ponder with a fetch land and a Batterskull. Seems good. He shuffled. He's got the lightning bolt. Alright, that's annoying. Yeah, Ponder. What's going on, deck? So pretty good. So I should path. Hope he doesn't have a misstep. And then I have Snapcaster Path if he does. Also have a Supreme Verdict. I think I like the idea of pathing this and then playing a Stoneforge. I mean, I don't really want to take 3 damage here. So I can path and get a Colonnade into play. That is a land that comes into play tapped. And then next turn I can potentially Verdict or Stoneforge. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to get the path. And then not play a fetch land because I want to draw Stoneforge Mystic next turn. I mean, this gives him a land, but plays around permission, which I think is the right trade. Land's not that good for him. Alright. Let's see what happens now. Oh, the cantrips, the cantrips. We won the first game with Batterskull. I mean, this game is potentially going to turn into a Batterskull game from here. And we'll see. You have a Scalding Tarn. I mean, a Skull Clamp. I have a Scalding Tarn, which I'm going to play so that I can represent 2 mana and then it comes into play tapped land. Okay. Now what? He needs to stick a Pyromancer here. That's what he needs to do. And then start Skull Clamping for advantage. But the Skull Clamp doesn't do anything if he doesn't stick a Pyromancer. And I also still have the Supreme Verdict to potentially clean up the world. Yep, these things happen. Means he doesn't have a Pyromancer, though. He would have led with that. Does mean I have to worry about just tapping out for Batterskull. else am I doing, though? Snapping back a Ponder? Playing a Jitte? And if he wants to sit here and... stupid Treasure Cruise. Ugh. Here comes the Treasure Cruise. I guess I could have jammed Jitte last turn as bait for Spell Pierce, but he knows I have the Batterskull. I mean, I got it from a Mystic. There's something threatening about untapped mana. I don't know, maybe I should have jammed Jitte. Not happy about this, that's for sure. I never draw that card. I think he's only got one more than me. He's resolved 3 to my 0 this match. Delver. Interesting. I mean, I could, in theory, run out a Snapcaster for no value, put a Jitte on it, and attack. He'll block, and I'll wind up with 2 Jitte counters. That actually doesn't sound that bad. I mean, he'll probably block. Yeah, he'll block. It plays around Spell Pierce in a way that tapping out for Batterskull doesn't. Wow. I actually think that's the line. I guess sometimes you just need an Ambush Viper, huh? I need a creature to attack with. That is just what I need. Such loss of value. Oh, were we not in his end step? I thought we were in his end step. Hopefully that doesn't screw anything up. Now he may Skull Clamp the Delver. I thought we were in his end step. I accidentally did that main phase. If he wants to kill his own Delver, that's fine. I'll just attack the Snapcaster. Either way, he's already played a land this turn, so only Pierce is available for this Jitte. Every creature in his deck is 1 toughness. These Jitte counters are just insane. Kind of a crazy line, but I still like it, even now that we're in the middle of it. Effectively trade Snapcaster for Delver, but I turn a profit of 2 Jitte counters. Which, what does he do, right? These kill every creature in his deck. And that is, of course, a triggered ability. It goes on the stack, which gives me something to respond to before he can activate Skull Clamp. He's got another Treasure Cruise. Wow. Enjoy your cards, sir. You have lots of them. That said, oh wow, so I can jam Batterskull or I can attack with Colonnade. I did this before and we decided he's tapped out this time though. It's gotta be Batterskull. It's gotta be Batterskull. Especially at 9? Yeah, it's Batterskull. This is how we drew it up. Yep. Is the possibility of Pyromancer Bolt me I was supposed to hit with Colonnade? Doesn't sound right. If he'd had a Pyromancer before, he would have played it by now. Oh, he didn't have the second bolt to respond with. You have a Snapcaster, maybe? Yeah, okay. It's Snapcaster. Can live with this. Although he's finally going to start getting Skull Clamp value, which is less than ideal. Well, sort of. I mean, if I Supreme Verdict it away, then he doesn't get that value. But then I'm not hitting it with Colonnade. Huh. Weird. So I can tap 5 and hit him with Colonnade, and I can have a Path to Exile to essentially kill a creature as a response to Skull Clamp. Seems okay. This feels better to me than picking up Batterskull. Especially since I can't replay it yet. Wish I had more mana for Jitte, but what are you going to do? I have to do the Supreme Verdict thing. Crazy game. kind of don't want to land because I can potentially equip with Jeté if I draw a land. Jace, what does that do? Good lord. I mean, I think the line is Verdict away, Young Pyro, and then have the mana for Batterskull. Yeah, this looks right. I mean, I could attack him to 1 there. I think this is better. Crazy. That's funny. He's just gonna cash it in for 2 cards, I assume. Yeah. How many bolts does he have left? There's 3 in exile. 3 lightning bolts in exile. One, two, three, four, 5. So this Batterskull can get mana leaked. Just play Stoneforge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can actually attack with Colonnade, then play Stoneforge. Which doesn't sound half bad. Like, it'll take his last lightning bolt and his only gut shot to kill this Colonnade. I think this is the line. Try to put him at 1. Yes, sweet. It'd be awfully hard for him to kill me from 10 with 3 lightning bolts in exile. Alright. Go. We actually gonna get there? Feels like we might actually get there. Crazy game. Cool crazy. I don't know. I've certainly enjoyed playing it. I don't know. Does the Delver deck have too many cantrips somehow? It's like he skull clamps, but like he doesn't have the thing that he's building toward. I don't know. I'm just letting him draw infinite cards, and none of them can stop me from attacking him with Celestial Colonnade. He's got 10 cards in his hand. He's up 20 cards on me. I have 38 cards left in my library. He has 18. That's nuts. Now, some of that is Ponders and Preordains, where he's not actually up a card, he's just seen more cards. But yeah, he has seen 42 cards this game. Wow! Oh my goodness! What just happened?
This deck is bad.
It's
I have nothing. I drew a million cards, and there's just nothing I can do.
yeah, you have 18 cards left in your library right now, as you can see the game, and 10 in your hand. What are you supposed to have?
I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I drew all the cards, and it's like, nope, none of them are good enough. Like, this deck needs to be more of a beatdown deck, and we've removed a lot of my threats. Other than, like, I have 4 threats.
Well, the Pyros.
Right? The Pyros, sure. The Pyros can do something.
I think you're supposed to have you're supposed to have the one mana guy, the hasty guy who's, oh my god, man, I'm blanking on his name. We just had a conversation in chat with him. Monastery Swiftspear. I think you're supposed to have Monastery Swiftspear. Especially instead of, like, Dark Confidant.
God, Dark Confidant feels terrible. Like, let's look at my mana too. Every land costs me 3 life.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Like, at some point, I'm like, oh, I have to stop gaining mana. So my mana base is terrible.
Sure. Yeah, you should have Swift Spears. This deck is built wrong. Interesting. Well,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
We will look. I'll see if there was a better list than this.
Okay.
But yeah, you need to be more aggressive. You just don't have, what is this? This deck has 14 creatures in it and 4 lightning bolts, and that's just not enough to actually win a game.
It's just not enough. No, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know what you cut, but yeah, you might want to look at a different Delver list. Sorry, guy who put this Delver list in. It just needs to be more aggressive. I don't know what this deck is trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that obviously I was eyeballing these lists rather than testing them out. Here, we can look at it. Here's the list. I've just added 4 Monastery Swiftspears. That card just plain belongs. Is 3 Skull Clamps too many? When basically all it does is combo with Young Pyro, right?
That's all it does. Like, I hated it unless I had a Pyro, and my Pyros wouldn't last.
So do you want 2 instead of 3?
Sure. And I had 4 originally, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that couldn't have been right.
What do you think about the permission suite? Like, you have a couple Remands, couple Spell Pierces.
I don't even have Mana Leak. Like, I have Remand over Mana Leak. Does that even make sense?
Yeah, it's what a lot of modern decks do.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's right.
I mean, I guess it's tempo, right? Like, I'm supposed to be a tempo deck, and Remand is certainly tempo.
Right.
But, like, I certainly just need to make sure that I'm more aggressive.
But I mean,
I don't know. Like, you've already taken 4 cards out of this deck. You might want to look and see other Delver decks that have kind of what we're looking for.
I didn't get sent that many. People didn't send me normal decks in general.
Oh, people went crazy?
People went kind of crazy. I got...
All right.
Here's the thing. People like to hate. People like to hate. So I got sent so many prison decks and so many, like, Chalice of the Void in the main and just, like, all this mess of prison. And I'm like, I included, 1 or 2 of those.
Sure.
But, like, that's an archetype. Maybe it's 2 archetypes, right? It's not the everything, right? So I want to have the the clean Delver list and the Hypergenesis list and all that. Yeah, chat. Snag Attack in chat is certainly safe.
And like, I'd love Vapor Snag. Like, I just want to remove your creature so I get to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, the power level of Vapor Snag is a little low for this, especially since you're not mostly going to be playing against creatures. But I mean, it wouldn't be crazy to have a little bit of that. All right, well, we'll see if we can clean up the Delver list. Wow, Delver versus Elves in an elimination match. It's going to be quite the match.
Ugh.
What? That's what happens now. We'll get you a better Delver list, and then you'll get knocked out.
That's fair. Get me a better Delver list so that I can get knocked out. And it's 9 o'clock now, so I do believe...
Yeah. We're done.
Tonight is coming to an end.
This was fun.
All right, guys. No, it was fun. Games of Magic were played.
All right, I'm going to end the whole cast. We'll see you later, Shadow. Thanks for watching out there, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed week 1 of No Band List Modern. We'll be back with Group B next week. We get to see 4 whole new takes on how to break Magic in half. See you then.